And we're live. Oop, I gotta put pre-show up. Boop, boop.
Did you change it from unlisted to public?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Just making sure.
Oh yeah. No, that's good because 9 times out of 10 I'm just like, why are 3 channels shown? Ah, son of a. All right.
Yep. Oh, look at that drop shadow. Fancy drop shadows.
Yeah, see? I got some skills.
Right here.
Yeah. Yeah, see? Yeah.
Now I have to wait and see the stream to see if I'm actually active with my hands.
Hey there, Dimebag315. How are you?
Hey, Dimebag, and yes, I was spot on with the finger pointing.
Yeah. Lower third. Hello.
But my lower third starts up here. Mine's more like like
A lower
it
eighth.
It doesn't start down here. It starts up here.
Yeah. Hey man, I do what I can. I also, it's so funny because they get to call it a lower third even when it only takes up like
A tenth of the fucking screen.
yeah. Dimebag asks, I'm good. How are you guys? I'm okay. I've recorded a lot of stuff over these last couple days, so part of me doesn't want to be here, but part of me says like, yes, we get to record TVGP, and that's I look forward to it every week.
Yep. Pretty much the same. I'm okay. Busy fucking week. Sealing season is almost upon us, which means that my work is about to go through the fucking roof.
Nice. I mean, nice/boo.
Yep. How many people work in my 3-man office? 1.
Who is that one? Oh, it's Moonpier.
Me.
Damn it. Well, that didn't work out. I wanted to see what...
No. My biggest concern is like literally I'm getting to the point now where because somebody else got hired and fired, I didn't even bother posting another one bites the dust in Discord because what's the fucking point anymore?
Well, we were talking about it. I think it was last week where it's like it's like when your divorced mom brings over a new dude she's dating. It's like I'm not gonna learn your name. You're not gonna last.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Like that's the funny thing.
20. All right.
The one who just went was number 11. And that's in less than 6 months.
You're like scratching it on the walls of your jail cell.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm sitting here, and someone else apparently new is starting tomorrow. We'll see.
Allegedly.
Allegedly is probably the best way to put it, but
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes. It's like one of my colleagues I talk to all the time. He's like, "So what do you think?" It's like, I like him, but we'll see how long they last.
We'll see if he makes it to 6 months.
See if I make it to fucking 1 at this point, dude.
That's true.
Because like literally the problem is our season will start in about 6 to 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very short time to get somebody else trained up, and we need at least 2 more people in there. It should be a 4-man office during the summer and maybe a 2 or 3-man over the winter.
Right.
But if we don't get the staff in, I'm the fucking dickhead who can't say no.
Right.
I'm the dickhead who can't say, no, I'm not working on a Saturday. I want to spend some time with my wife. I'm
Right.
the idiot who will be like, oh no, I'll come in at 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday and stay till fucking 7 at night
Yeah.
because you need someone to.
It'll be
Like,
fine.
that's me.
But you get
I'm
paid
gonna be
overtime, so it's a little bit better.
A little bit, but it's not worth the exhaustion. I'm
No,
still
yeah.
tired from last summer now.
Yeah. That's the people thing when people always say where it's like, well, at least you're getting overtime. It's like, yeah, dude, but I'm working like 70 hours in like 6 days. I'm not. It only makes up for so much, man.
I'm pretty sure, like, towards the end of the season last year, I'm pretty sure I went into triple figures for my hours.
Yeah.
Because it was just so fucking ridiculous.
It's just the amount of work.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's the way I'm wired. It's like, if there's a job to be done, I'm going to fucking get my head into it and I'm going to get it done.
Yep.
You know? When it becomes
you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it.
Yeah. And then it's like, I'm talking to Jess and it's like we'd have text discussions at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd be like, I honestly don't know if I'm going to be home at 7:30 or 8:30
Also,
or
like you call it
today.
6 o'clock in the afternoon, because it's like, I'm here for a couple more hours, man. This isn't my
Yep.
nighttime.
Yep. So like that was the hardest part. It was like the meal planning was so difficult. It's like, so what are we having for dinner? Like she'd text me like, "What time are you gonna be home so we can get dinner prepped up?" And it's like, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't. 20
Like,
minutes, 2 hours. I don't know.
dealer's choice at this point.
Yeah. How's cereal sound? Sounds great.
For me, it's fucking great because I love cereal.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I have
7 weeks, dude. What the fuck?
I've started training again to at some point re-enter the workforce. So like now my amount of time to play games has gotten drastically cut again. Because
That sounds familiar.
what I used to do is like the my daughter would go to bed at like 7 o'clock and or around there. And then I'd like stay up and do some chores and especially do laundry and play games at the same time. But now that time, like Monday through Thursday or Friday, is all training at this point.
Yep.
So
Well, it's like we fucking one of the owner where I work, one of the owner's friends was like, "So have you ever thought about doing like a business degree? Like, because you're pretty good at this." And it's like, you don't pay me enough to
right,
go
like,
to
what,
school.
are you going to pay my tuition? Like,
And what time do you think I have when I get fucking done here?
yeah, like, can I take some online classes while I'm here at work? Because that's the only time I can see the sun.
Yeah.
Oh man.
During the summer, I don't even get that. During the summer, I'm literally there before the sun rises until the sun sets.
Yeah. God, that was the worst part working IT when I was back in Ohio, is like, you know, I'd get there early so I could get a bunch of work done before all the customers came in. And then, you know, because it gets dark so early during the winter over there, I'd leave work at like 5 and it's dark already. It's like,
Yep.
great.
Well, that was the worst thing about fucking summer just gone for me. Is like I'm getting up at 5:30 to be in for 6, so that I can get to work and get stuff done before before anybody starts calling, before I have to answer the 66 messages that are on the phones.
Yeah.
Like I got there that early to be able to handle that. But then the guys work until the sun sets, until the sun's going down. They are fucking working. And then I'm there in the office when they get back
Right.
to clean up their files and the list of work that they've done and any issues that occur. So by the time I'm leaving, the sun's setting, and it's like it's the longest days of the year, and I still don't see the fucking sun.
Hey there, that dude 38 on Mixer. How's it going?
Bonjour.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, summer's supposed to be like, all right, the sun's out, seasonal affective disorder, you can get the fuck out of here. And it's like, wait, no.
Yep.
Wait, it's still around. Shit. But it's warmer now. Hooray.
Yeah, in this house that goes to fucking 200 degrees.
Yeah, that's,
like in the
that's
slightest
the problem
heat.
over in, you know, the northeast, where it's like, yeah, it's warmer. Shit, it's all the way warm now. Damn it.
Yep. Luckily, I have the AC in here, or an AC unit in here now, so fingers crossed that won't be too bad. And the bedroom one is in this cupboard next to me, so
Oh, nice.
the bedroom will be okay. The 2 rooms in the house will be okay. The other 16 will be fucked.
Yeah, the 2 rooms you're in will be fine.
Yes. Well, minus the living room.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it makes me laugh because like this city, like Rochester itself, is got an amazing festival scene. Like during the summer, there's like a festival every weekend here.
That's cool.
Like there's the Violet Festival and the Flower Festival and the Art Festival and all these, like literally like every week it's just festivals. And you get people who come down for the Lilac Festival who fly from Japan and China for the
Jeez.
Lilac Festival. I'm wondering if you can hear the rumbling of the building.
No.
But they fly over here and it's like, oh, that's great. The festival's this weekend. Can we go? Hold on, let me check my work hours. No.
Whoops, it's nighttime.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I need a car, like now, so that when it comes to doing this kind of stuff, I can be like, yes, I will pick you up after work and we can go straight there.
Right, I will meet you there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But unfortunately, as we talked about in the pre-show, that shit ain't free. Oh, man.
I think I barely hit the actual ID requirements.
Oh,
It's
to
fun.
get a driver's license?
Yep.
You have to take the test and everything, right?
I don't even have a permit for it yet, so that's something I actually need to do first and foremost.
Yeah.
And the difficulty for me then becomes, I need practice. You need a certain amount of hours practice driving,
Right,
before you can actually take your test. The place I work for has a bunch of cars. I'm not going to be put on that insurance because that's a commercial insurance, and if anything happens while I'm behind the wheel, the rates will go through the roof.
yeah. The whole company's screwed.
Yes. The only other person I know in the area who has a car is my mother-in-law. She has a Jeep. She is obsessed with. Like, it's her baby. That's her. That's her beautiful beast. She puts it in
look at it.
She puts it in the garage over the winter, so the salt doesn't touch it.
Jeez.
Like, she goes mud running in it and does all those obstacle courses, like where the car's like this going down the side of a mountain. She does all that in it. The other car she owns is a really expensive SUV Jag. I ain't getting behind the wheel of that thing either. So I'm okay, thanks. I'll find some driving course places and then figure out how I'm going to do it through that section.
I wish I could live close to you because I don't care about my car. I have a 2007 Honda Accord. I was like, yeah, go crazy.
That's the thing is, I don't know if would it be legal for me to buy a shitty car, get it on the road, get it insured under a permit license, so that then I could drive home with one of the guys from work. I could take him home, but then if I take him home, I can't drive from his house to my house without him in the fucking car.
Yeah, you might not be able to buy it because you don't have a license.
Exactly.
Hey.
So I need to find some place that does driving courses.
Yeah, there should be a whole bunch, thankfully.
There probably is. I just need to actually sit down, do the research into it as soon as I have my permit.
It's going to be one of those places where there's like a strip mall near you, and like around the corner and in the back is like ABC driving school. And it's like, oh, I didn't even know there was a parking lot back here.
And then they're going to be like, so why are you getting your license at 30-something? It's like, listen to the accent and you can answer that question to yourself. Like, I was talking with my sister about it. I was like, yeah, that's the next big agenda for me is get my license, get a car. I'd love to be able to drive to New York City. I'd love to be able to drive to Canada, to go on all these places. Can't do that without a car, at least not cheap.
Yeah. Or even like a weekend trip up to like Maine or something. Maine's pretty.
Yeah, exactly. Just do like a little drive. Like I say, a little drive. Like any UK people listening, that's 6 hours over here. Just so you know.
Right.
Like just do something like that. It would be really cool, just to escape and get away. But it's like the steps to get in a car when you're as old as I am with as little time as I have, because it's like, oh yeah, just go to the DMV and get your permit. It's like,
it's like great. Okay. That's a whole day wasted.
The DMV closes at 5,
right?
Monday to Friday. You want me to go there while I'm technically in work? You want to pay me, or you want to give me a 3-hour lunch break so I can go and do that?
Right. Can you make an appointment over there?
Certain ones you can, none in the local area. The only other day it's open is the last Saturday of the month, and unfortunately I was too busy yesterday to actually go and do it.
Yeah.
So.
And you know it's gonna be a madhouse. Like you have to get there as soon as they open and wait in the line and.
Because you can't make the appointments, you can't do the phone checking thing here, you can't do any of the useful stuff that they've done in other states.
Yeah.
It's old school here, which is
it's sort of surprising because, you know, when I moved out here, I had to get a new driver's license and transfer the title and all that stuff. And I asked them, I was like, well, what hours are they open on Saturdays? And, like, people just laughed at me. It's like, okay. Because in Ohio, for the longest time, I think they recently changed it, they were open every Saturday for at least, like, 5 hours. And
well, there's the thing, it's the last Saturday of a month here.
Yeah.
It's like, that's great and all, but like I didn't have the time to go yesterday because I was too busy getting stuff sorted here. So now I'm waiting another month.
Right.
Like, have a day where you close at 8.
Just one day. First Monday. Like, how about that one?
Like, it's so stupid. It's like, I don't understand. I think it goes to the whole nature of the DMV and how it's portrayed in Western, specifically American media. Yeah. It's portrayed as a hellhole. Yes. I think it's done for this reason, because there is no bending, there is no assistance to people. It's like, no, you want to drive, you need to drive because, hey, you're in America. Guess what? You need to drive.
Yeah.
So deal with it. Like that's pretty much the motto I can tell is
you
DMV.
have to do this, so deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Last time I went, I needed to get a new driver's license because I had moved here, and then transfer my title and get new license plates. And I looked at their website, and I gathered all the stuff I needed, and I had everything, and I made an appointment, and I took the day off of work, and I went in, and I give all my stuff to get the new driver's license, and she goes, well, I don't need any of this stuff. You brought the wrong stuff. I was like, well, no, I got what was on the website. Like, pull up the website. And she goes, oh, well, they listed the wrong thing. You don't actually need all those. You need your actual stamped birth certificate. And I was like, what? It's in Ohio. Like, I'm not okay. I said, okay, well, thanks. Have a good day. And she goes, well, don't go anywhere. You can transfer your title and get the new plates. And I was just like, why? Why would you let me do that? And not do, why would you let me do any of this?
So, note to self, take way more than I need when I actually go.
Yes. I would just take like a folder full of all the stuff you have. Your green card, I think, will probably suffice for the majority of that stuff.
It doesn't.
Of course it doesn't. Why would it? My thing that says, hi, I'm a citizen. Like, here's the thing the country gives me. Not good enough.
You would think that the thing which is a government-appointed identification for myself that I am legally required to have on my person 100% of the time. It's right next to me right now. That's how paranoid I am about it. That's
not good
enough
to get your other government-approved identification.
Exactly.
Damn it.
Why would it be?
Welcome to the U.S., Moon.
Thank you. It's a hellhole.
It's confusing.
That's an understatement.
Yeah. Can you hear that fan, by the way, that I just turned on?
No, I can hear my PC fine, but I can't hear yours.
Oh, boy. All right, well, are you ready to kick this thing off?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get started here in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your host, Boston, and joining me, as always, is Moonpeer.
Hello.
Let's dive right into it. Moonpeer, what have you been playing this past week?
Okay, this is going to be quite interesting. Please listen to the pre-show /outcasts for reasons why I have very little time. Yes. I played a little bit of Monster Hunter. Played a bunch last night with T-Bomb Rock's community member and his crew. Who are really cool guys. Finally got up to the point where apparently there are stages. Basically, as you're going through the game, you'll get hunter ranks. Your hunter rank will rank up based on your progression through the game. Once you beat the quote-unquote last boss, because I've already had a false finish like 3 times. Once you beat him, what will happen is your hunter rank will jump like 20 numbers.
Oh, okay.
For reasons I don't know, because one of these guys, one of T-Bomb's crew, his hunter rank is 42, which is astonishing.
That's so much time.
Yeah, well, I think I said to you, between shows, I've put 72 hours into this game, and I'm not trying to steamroll it. I'm taking it nice and slow. I've got other achievements to work towards at the same time. And my rank is 14.
Yeah.
And in doing so, I've actually just got the big 3, I think. Like, I've been introduced to Beelzebub or whatever his name is. He is a giant monster who drops bombs on you from the sky. I think we talked about him last week or the week before.
Yeah.
There is a great meme going around right now, which is it's a picture of like a monster. It's a picture of him, and it's like, oh, I see you're hunting a monster. Let me just help, because he will come in and mess your stuff up so quick while you're hunting someone completely different.
Oh, okay.
And he just shows up and he's just like, hi guys, I'm here to help. Yeah. And then carpet bombs the entire area. But I just... After the first false finish, you get an investigation. After that false finish, you get another investigation. And then you get 3 at once. So I've finally done tracking the 3 like question mark tracks that I needed to in different areas. And I've basically been given like 3 monsters to hunt, and it's like Testarossal the Infernal, and like these are the to use the old Pokemon reference, these are like the rare birds or the rare dogs, like from the 2 generations of Pokemon games. Where it's like, oh yeah, this is your Articuno, your Moltres, and your Zapdos. These are 3 hardcore monsters.
Right.
Have fun trying to hunt them. I haven't even hunted the last 4, which were introduced to me in the thing. I haven't done anything with them yet. So,
and now they're like, here's the killer, the murderer, and it's just like, oh man.
Yes, exactly. So I now have 3 assignments to go and hunt down those things before I can progress further to what I'm assuming will be the final finish. So slowly making progress in that, but for me it's just been jump in, do a couple of assignments, jump out. So I'm kind of using it as my what do we call it? It's my comfort food game right now.
Right.
Where it's like, I know I've got the equipment to deal with these guys. I'm just going to go in, deal with them, and get out. Yeah. So I'm filling up
horns, cut some tails, down to
exactly.
business.
And it's really great. Like that satisfaction, I think we talked about it a while ago, of like when you first jump in and the great Jaggy wrecks you because you're so unprepared for it. And then by the time you're nearing the high rank missions, you're like, oh, great Jaggy, he's dead in 2 minutes now. Like, and he's dead. And then you get the high rank and he's like, oh no, he's tougher again. I'm at that point where even the standard high rank monsters, like the standard like 9 or whatever, they are easy to me now. It's like, oh, there's an Anjanath. Nice. I'm going to chop his tail off. I'm going to destroy him. I'm going to get all his stuff and see where I can upgrade.
Right. You're on that side of the loop again.
Yes, but I'm also on that side of the loop on purpose because I do have the high rank monsters on my list that I need to go and start hunting down. I just don't want to do it right now, so I'm just...
I just want to win.
I just, like I said, it's a comfort food thing. I'm just taking my time, getting a bunch of mats, and then we'll see how things go from there.
Yeah.
Other than Monster Hunter, I, of course, played a little bit of Elite Dangerous. I still love that game. I didn't play it too much this week. I pretty much just jumped in to hand in my community goals. 13 million credits straight in my pocket.
Whew.
I'm now 200 million credits away from getting the ship I want.
Space rich.
Yes. They actually have a new update. I think it comes out on Wednesday. Their new update for the next expansion pass thing comes in. So that is introducing a whole bunch of new ships as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I know my wife is saving her money because she wants one of those ships. So she's waiting for that so she can jump in. Elite Dangerous is still really, really cool. I did see Nimp posted on Twitter. Nimp, one of the community members, he's been playing it. And he took a photo because it's a really cool place. He docked at Leonard Nimoy Station.
Ooh, cool. Which
the game is full of those type of references. I believe I responded to him with a picture of someone who I was following through Super Cruise, and his name was Zap Brannigan.
Great.
And his combat rating was mostly harmless.
That sounds about right.
That's kind of a deep cut for Futurama fans out there.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny seeing it. It would, like, the game is full of them. Like, you'll see a bunch of names pop up constantly in all locations. It's fantastic. So I love Elite Dangerous. I jumped onto Steam for a little bit, and thanks to members of the community and friends, T-Bomb, Mackie, I now have an embarrassingly large Steam library.
Yeah.
Like, really embarrassingly large. Most of that is T's fault. Dude, you seriously have a problem? Stop buying games.
There's too many bundles, Moon.
Yes, there is. But I'm just dipping my toes in. Like, I'm just experimenting with different games, seeing how I feel about them.
Looks cool.
Yeah, exactly. Which, my biggest complaint with Steam is if a game is on my library, and some of these people, like, for example, T or Mackie is like, you've got hundreds of games. How do you know what a game is just from the title?
Oh,
so, like,
right.
You've got to go into your library, click the thing, click the details, see the description of it. It's like, I don't know what half of these things are.
Right.
Like, I legitimately don't know. So I thought, let's kind of do it a little alphabetically. So I started playing 10 Second Ninja, which it's Super Meat Boy.
Oh, cool.
except it's Super Meat Boy, kind of,
Okay.
because there are targets in the environment. It's like it's a single screen environment so far that I've seen. There are targets in it, and you have a sword and you have a kunai. You throw the kunai to hit people. It's one hit and they're dead. And your aim is you have 10 seconds to clear this entire screen of enemies, and you'll get a star ranking of 1 to 3.
I've seen that before. That looked cool.
It's really kind of cool. Like the controls are okay. Like I don't know if I just need to get used to the drift, because it was something about Super Meat Boy. Like that control on Super Meat Boy was the most perfect controls for a platformer you have ever played. Like that game handled like a dream, and it was designed to do so. But 10 Second Ninja it feels a little looser than Super Meat Boy, so I kind of need to actually get used to the way it controls before I feel like I can be good at it.
Yep.
But otherwise, like the game seems to be fun. I mean, I don't know how much time I'm going to be putting into it. It might be a case of this is the one time I've dipped my toe into the ninja and then back out kind of thing, play something else, see how things go. But it seems interesting. Like I said, we'll see. If I keep playing it, I do. If I don't, I don't. Doesn't really matter one way or the other. I also did a little bit of West of Loathing this month's Game Club game.
Yeah, I gotta start that.
You should really start it. I'm now in the second town in the game.
Okay.
The writing has continued to be amazing. The combat is simple but fun. Pretty much it's the writing that's pulling me through this right now, because it's, like I said, it's very, very simple. I unlocked hard mode, which I didn't turn on because it's like, oh, there's a secret in the bottom of these mines, and you go there and it's a black cowboy hat that once you put it on you can never take it off. And like the item description for it is like, if you want to put this on, it might make things a little bit more difficult, and then you click continue for the next screen of the description, and it's like the developer writing a message to you is like, hey, it's me, just so you know, this might make things more difficult, like really, really difficult.
Oh yeah.
Like, just saying it might make it harder to stay alive, wink wink, nudge nudge kind of thing. And it's just got this charm to it that's really, really kind of cool. I'm enjoying the game. It's running like silky smooth. I honestly, I would expect no less for it to run silky smooth on this, considering what that game is.
Right.
Which is a 2D, 3D stick man adventure thing. But yeah, it's fun so far. Like, I'm loving the characters that you meet, the additional side quests that you can do. Like, all of that stuff is really fun. Get it, play it. It was like $8 recently. I think normally it's 10. I think I've probably put about 6 hours into it, and it's easily worth that so far. So give it a go, get involved, talk to us about the whole, your
Join the
experience
Discord
with...
server.
Yes. I did sink probably about 2 or 3 hours into Forza Horizon 3. Getting my way through the snow land.
Yeah.
Because Jess may have bought the Hot Wheels DLC when it was on sale.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, I've got a lot more Forza in front of me. But I'm determined to clean out the snow stuff. And I don't know if it was in it originally or if it's just been updated, but the 4K update is incredible. The HDR on it is incredible. What's not incredible is trying to drive in a snowstorm with 4K HDR in the middle of the day when literally your in-screen is just white. Literally cannot see 2 feet in front of you.
Oh, man.
It's terrifying. Like, your visibility is down to about 6 feet. It's like I'm driving using the mini map on the radar. It's that kind of...
Jeez.
That
That's
kind
cool,
of
but scary.
It's really great. Like, it looks fantastic, but you just don't see corners coming, and you've got to adjust really badly to it. I did take part in the Kingmaker event, which is the final single-player event of the game, and I got my Kenny Block Ford Focus Jim Carter rally car, so I'm pretty much dominating it now.
Nice.
Thanks to that car, I can now get 3 stars in drift zones.
Ooh.
I will reiterate it again. I hate drift zones.
So, they're just...
It's the worst
They're
idea.
just not that fun.
No, they're not. And like, I don't understand how people can be coming out and saying drift zones are so cool. It's like, no, they're not. They're so annoying.
Yeah,
Especially
I've never
on
liked 'em.
standard Horizon, like when you're in Australia itself. When you're doing them in there, you basically need one of the top end cars with like the ridiculous horsepower to just take you sideways throughout the entire thing.
Yep.
Like, it's so stupid. I hate drift zones
Yeah.
so much. Anyway, Forza Horizon 3. My final game this week, because it, like I said, very limited time, very iffy. Oh, so my wife got a message from Xbox letting her know that, hey, Xbox insiders, just so you know, we're trying to do a Sea of Thieves scale test.
Oh, right.
So, if you want to, click this link over here and install the game and jump in and we want to test our servers.
The first hit's free.
Yes, exactly. That is 100% it. So my response was, are we really going to do this? I thought we agreed that we wouldn't play it beforehand. We're on media blackout for this game.
Right.
It's like, yeah, but I want to just test it a little bit and see if it's something I'm interested
Just
in.
a little taste.
Just a little taste. Just a little line. Nothing can go wrong.
Yeah.
So she installed it, and then I panicked because I'm not an insider.
Mm.
So I thought, wait, can I install it? Yes, I can. Can I play it? Yes, I can.
Ooh.
Did we play it? Yes, we did. Probably about 4 hours worth.
Nice.
There wasn't a whole lot of content in there by design, I think. It's very, very basic. Kind of, like I said, it's a scale test. I'm not expecting the full game to be in there.
Yeah, it's not like, here's a 40-hour campaign. I have heard people complain about that with the beta, and it's like, they're not going to give away the game for free here.
Yep.
They're not going to let someone stream just. They're not going to give away the game for free. Campaign.
Yep. I give you Blair.
Stream just.
Yeah,
They're not
exactly.
going to give away the game for free.
So it's Blair and Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 labeled it as a demo when it was a beta. Big mistake.
Yeah.
Or when it was a multiplayer test, like a server test. That was a horrific mistake that they made. Blair, they did the opposite, and they labeled it as a demo and basically give you the full game for like 3 weekends. Titanfall 1, I think, did the same thing, where it was like 3 beta tests.
Yeah.
But no, there's very minimal in there. It's like you go in, you can talk to a bunch of people. There is clothing shops and stuff like that. The character creator was a little disappointing because it's 6 pirates, and you can press a button to regenerate the 6. But you can't 100% customize your shape, your height, your...
you can't say, like, I'm going to be Pirate 3, so it's not like what they did eventually with Rock Band, where it's like, here's my 4 band members, now I get to customize each one. They didn't go that far.
They didn't. It's like, here is a randomly generated 6 pirates, pick which one is you want to be, that is you.
Oh, okay.
And then you can adjust like facial hair and stuff like that by buying new clothes and buying new cosmetic items. But it's one of those things where it's like, well, that's great and all, but where's the actual customization in it? Like,
right.
it's kind of very generic at first. So I picked the old man who looks a little bit like Snape, and he's got grey hair.
Nice.
Or white hair, I should say. My wife picked a larger lady and put a beard on her, as is appropriate for my wife's gamer tag.
That's true.
But Zero Bearded Lady Zero. O Bearded Lady O for those listening. And we thought, let's do a test. So we jumped in. You got multiple ship options, multiple crew options. You got a galleon and a sloop, first and foremost. So they're your 2 ships. Sloop is the little one, galleon is the big one. The sloop, if it's fully crewed, is a 3-man crew. But you can do a small crew, which is a 2-man crew. Oh wait, no.
Okay.
The sloop's the opposite. Sloop is 2-man crew, fully crewed, 1-man crew with a smaller crew. So you can play it by yourself.
Okay.
The galleon is a 4-man crew or a 3-man crew for a smaller crew, that's fine. Like, the game immediately does pop up with messages being like, for best chat, switch to game chat. Because that's kind of how we want people to experience it. Similar to Friday the 13th, I imagine.
Yeah.
But we started off with the sloop. Just wanted to jump in, see what it was like, get used to it, see if it was something we were interested in. First and foremost, This game looks so beautiful, so very, very pretty.
Really?
Yes. I don't know if have you ever seen any of the behind the scenes on Finding Nemo, like how they produced the water and the water was too realistic, so they had to scale it back a little bit.
No.
Well, you know how gorgeous the water looks in Finding Nemo, especially when they're on like the top and you can see the waves and the light.
Yeah.
This looks better.
Jeez.
Worth saying, I'm on the Xbox One X. I am playing it in 4K. I am playing it with HDR. The water in this game, I don't think has ever been done as beautiful as this, as well as this, as reactive as this. The game looks incredible. I do like the fact that they went stylized, like everything's like slightly cartoony. Like it does give it that touch of Rare charm, that charm that Rare are famous for. It has that aspect to it, but it does look like they just went all out when it comes to the water. So, just running around the island at first, like getting used to it, we find our ship, we explore the ship, we start to figure out how things are going. The way it operated in this mode, at least, not the full game again, like I said, very stripped down beta. You go to the Gold Guild, they'll give you missions to go find treasure, you bring those treasure chests back to them, they will give you a percentage of money towards it.
Okay.
So we did that a couple of times on the sloop. We got used to things. We got used to raising and lowering the sails and shifting the angles of the sails to catch the wind better. Like I was trying to explain what quartering the wind means when you're on a sailboat.
Right.
Which is when you angle the sails to the right, so the wind is blowing the ship to the right, but then you have to counter steer to the left with the actual tiller to have the ship going straight.
Right.
But it's at maximum speed considering the direction the wind comes from. So there was that whole experience. The charm of the game is quite cool. There's notches on the tiller. Really minimal HUD. Like the game has got very little HUD to it. But when you're steering the ship on the tiller, which is the big wheel for those people who don't know the terminology, when you're in dead center, it has a golden thread on the actual handle.
Oh, nice.
And the controller vibrates as that hits into the dead center, and it's got the same on both ends as well. So when you're all the way turned to the left, it will stop, and it has a golden notch. All the way to the right, it's got the same thing.
That's great.
So it's got really nice little design touches where you don't need a HUD for it. Like you don't need. All you've got to do is look out. You do need a crew. 100% you need a crew, because even on the sloop, like the smallest ship, which is the 2 or 1 man crew. While I was playing it with Jess, we were sailing from one place to another. So we dropped the sails all the way down, and we angled them correctly. But unfortunately, the angle was straight in front of us. I couldn't see a thing standing at the tiller because there's a mast in my way. There's a mast behind that, and then there's a sail blocking the horizon.
Right.
So it was one of those moments where it's like, okay, you need to check the map.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that I'm going in the correct direction and give me the compass bearing. So there is a lot of communication, a lot of back and forth. That's cool. You can drop the anchor and come to a dead stop, and then you can do like handbrake turns based on dropping the anchor and steering.
Just some little Tokyo Drift stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, I think you mean Caribbean Drift. Thank you very much. But there's a lot of like nice little touches in there to the point where I was like, okay, we played for a couple of hours, we did a couple of missions, I'm in. Day one, 100%, right. I am in on this game because it looks incredible. And then one of her friends, Kitty Cat, I've mentioned on the show before, was like, "Oh, we can jump in. Let's try out the galleon." It took about 4 minutes for Mutiny.
That sounds about right.
So, literally about 4 minutes till the first Mutiny. It was incredible. There is a vote to imprison people in the brig button.
Oh no.
I was in the brig within about 10 seconds of loading into the game.
Great.
Because my wife and Kitty Cat were like, well, let's just vote him in the brig and see how it works. And then you have to vote to bring people back out of the brig.
Oh, God. I feel like that's the equivalent of, like, don't get fries. You know, I won't get fries. I'm not really that hungry. I'm just going to have, like, 1 or 2 of your fries, and the next thing you know, they're all gone.
Yes, exactly. But There is a minimum sentence. If you send people to the brig, you can't just immediately pull them out. There is a minimum sentence someone has to serve in the brig.
Oh,
no. Oh, really quick, some fantastic touches in this as well. Back to the charm kind of thing. When you get a treasure map, if you hold right trigger, you'll pull it up in front of your face. When you hold left trigger, you'll show it outwards instead of inwards.
Oh, okay.
So if someone's looking at the big map for the ship on the table, you can stand in front of them, and if they're like, well, what does it look like? And then they can just come out of the map,
Just
and you can be standing
around.
in front of them like that.
I have a map.
I may or may not have ran after my wife with a pocket watch, saying, "What time is it? What time is it? I can't tell what time it is."
Too bad it's not in VR.
Yes, to be honest, I'm waiting for Microsoft to announce the AR or the MR version of this.
Yes, the MR.
Where your house is suddenly your ship.
Yeah.
But no, the game is so charming. It's so much fun. You can drink grog and get drunk. If you're ever playing with me, please only drink one tankard of grog.
We have work to do, please.
If you drink 2, your character starts vomiting.
Oh, great.
And that's a sound that is a trigger for me that makes me want to vomit, is
Right.
the throw up sound.
An actual vomit in the real world?
Yes, and it's really effective in this. And when you vomit, there's green you vomit green all over the ship's deck.
Great.
It gets better because while my wife and I we were playing around with it, trying to figure something out, because things interact in weird ways. There is musical instruments in the game, and you can just hold right trigger and you can play it. Right now, it cycles through like 3 songs, but if you play a song and then someone else pulls out their instruments and starts playing it, they become the backup to your song.
Oh, wow. I originally thought this was going to be a troll's nightmare. It reminds me of like playing Mario Party with friends when they figure out you can just hit the right trigger and it goes like
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like that, but then they become in sync with you, and then they become your backup thing for this song. So there may or may not have been times when we were playing with Kitty Cat, she was on the steering. So me and Jess just ran around the ship playing our musical instruments together.
You're like her hype man.
Yes. And she was like, fix the sails, and was like, no, too busy playing music kind of thing. We're not going fast, or we're going too fast. And it's like, lower the anchor. It's like, no, we're too busy playing music. Thank you very much.
I have a song to play, please.
Right now, there's only 2 instruments in there. I can't wait for there to be more songs and more instruments, to be completely honest, because you can only listen to Ride of the Valkyries played on a xylophone. Not a xylophone, a harmonica. Not a harmonica, one of those bagpipe things.
Accordion.
That's the one.
Yeah.
You can only listen to Ride of the Valkyries on that so many times before it gets a bit annoying.
Yeah.
But the game is so charming. When you get drunk and start to play your music, it's out of tune and out of key.
Perfect.
And then when you crash, which may or may not have happened, real quick, back to the mutiny. I got put in the brig. When I came out of the brig, Kitty Cat was already on an island trying to dig up some treasure. My wife immediately muted herself and was like, let's just steal the ship.
Of course. That's the first thing I knew your wife was going to say.
Yes. So we may or may not have stolen the ship and driven it off onto the horizon. At which point, Kitty, this is how I learned about the death mechanics. If you're too far away from your ship, a little mermaid will appear in the water and be like, do you want to return to your ship?
Oh, cool.
And teleport you back to your ship.
Huh.
Doesn't bring the treasure that she had with her at the time, though. So we did a big U-turn. We came back. We picked her up. There was fun and joy to be had. She went away after a while, and I think I was on the crow's nest doing a test. I wanted to see if I could jump from the crow's nest of the galleon into the water and if it would take damage. I did that, and as I came jumping off the crow's nest into the water, my wife raised the sails and started taking off on the boat. So she left me behind, and then was probably like, drop anchor, drop anchor. And I was like, I'm in the water, you left me behind, I'm way back there.
I'm not here with you.
So she crashed it into some rocks. At which point we're in the bottom of the galleon, boarding up the inside of the ship to stop it from leaking, and at the same time using buckets to take water out of it to run it all the way up to the top to throw it overboard. there's so many little touches. Like, I can't believe how much they have put into this game, considering. I mean, yeah, it's been in development for ages. They announced it probably way too early.
Oh yeah.
But so far, 100%, I am in. I do not care. This game was like, we played it for 4 hours, I think, in total, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And if you're drunk and vomiting and hold a bucket in front of you, you have a bucket of vomit.
That's so weird. Well, I mean, that's such a good sign that you managed to have that much fun this early on, because we've talked about Game Pass, and they seem to be leading with Sea of Thieves being important for their first party day one stuff, and this is what I was hoping, is that you and your friends can get Game Pass. Everybody's just doing a $10 buy-in basically, and then it was my hope that it was gonna be like within the first hour you were saying like, all right, this is immediately really good, and we know what to do, and we're having a lot of fun. And
yep.
I'm really excited that it sounds like that happened immediately.
I am 100% in on this, and this is like, I think I'd already made the decision I was going to be picking up Game Pass. This just confirmed it.
Yeah. Because
if I can pay $10 a month for that game and Crackdown 3 and State of Decay 2 and every other game on that list, which there are good games and bad games on there. It's got the OG remake of Resident Evil 1 in there.
Yeah.
So I'll play that again. I'll play 2 again. I'll play all of these games that are in there. I will probably play them when I finish the 290 games I currently have installed.
You only have 176 more waiting.
Exactly. But it's a really good selling point that they've had, and the fact that like Sea of Thieves, they've done such a good job of not making it predictable. Right. Because that's my biggest thing with Black Flag. Like, I want to go back and play it, but I have now experienced the water stuff in Origins.
Yeah.
I have experienced the Assassin's Creed stuff in, I don't know, every Assassin's Creed game ever. So, what else is new there? Like, what else other than that stuff? Literally, that's my wife's #1 selling point for her. She is like 100% really sea shanties.
Yeah, I love that one of the collectibles in Black Flag are pieces of sea shanties.
Yep. And she absolutely adores them as well. So,
yeah,
that's kind of a good reason to go back to it. But it's like, that's a pirate game, and you take those two things that I've already experienced, and there's nothing new in there with the exception of the shanties.
Yeah.
Which essentially is a radio from Grand Theft Auto games,
Yeah, and it's like you've already gotten. Do you want to go back to play something that's so focused on that stuff, knowing that you'll get like the Assassin's Creed modern day stuff, but how much is it worth playing through a game that you've played better games of to
exactly
get a little bit of modern day stuff in?
Yeah. And that's the thing with Sea of Thieves. It was like, the second I started playing it, I was enjoying the charm of it. I was enjoying the way it looks, because it's stylized, and I think it's the way to go when you're making games like this. Make it stylized, because it will last the test of time so much better.
Well, and like, especially when there's so much, you need to have so much communication, and you have multiple people playing stuff. Like, you can't, having a more stylized look like that makes it easier for people to say, go over here and do this thing, and it's not, there's only one thing over there, because Rare hasn't, this is an ultra realistic ship where it's like, which one of these cannons? Oh, it's the they didn't go that far, and I think that makes it more friendly for people, more inviting, and like most Rare games, I think it makes it more fun.
Yeah, and that's the most interesting thing about this, is I played this game for 4 hours, and it was 100% fun.
Yeah. Like,
it was so fun to just jump in, play the game, tool around, learn what we're doing. Like, the sails, it's two things. It's a tie-off for the length, and it's a what's it called? The spinny wheel things. I can't remember what they're called. Oh well, it's a spinny wheel thing for the angle, and it's like, that's all you need to know. And when you jump in, and we jumped in on the Scupper, the smaller boat, there's one sail to worry about.
Nice.
On the Galleon, there's 3.
Right.
So,
well,
that's nice a different ball game.
They give you that option if this isn't your first game, but it's nice to know you can just hop in and you can deal with a small ship and one sail and, you know, just one mission, and you can really start small.
Yeah, and firing people out of cannons is every bit as fun as it should be.
That's incredible.
We did actually, because of course my wife was in charge of it. We did run across one person in a scupper by themselves, or in a sloop. Sorry, sloop is the name of the small boat.
And I bet your wife looks at them and says, "Let's kill them."
Hare and Kitty Cat together said the exact same thing at the exact same time. So we rained cannonballs from our galleon onto this sloop over and over and over again until this poor little ship was decimated. Until the guy had died and respawned and died and respawned.
Hey, he's back. Open fire.
But the problem was the ship wasn't dying, because the key to it is when the ship dies, if you respawn the ship, you spawn somewhere else with the ship.
Like at another port?
Exactly. But the ship was on shallow land, so it wasn't sinking correctly. So it couldn't go all the way under the water. So I may have gone over there and started jumping up and down on the crow's nest while it was getting shot with cannons. Just like the Tom and Jerry moment of like jumping up and down trying to make it sink.
Yeah.
Tiny little figure on the crow's nest.
Playing a fiddle.
He did kill me at one point, which is good because I learned how the death mechanic works, which is you get taken to a death lobby, and then you get given, I think it's like a 20-30 second timer, and then in the death lobby you walk out of a door, and that takes you back to your boat. The death lobby is called the Voyage of the Damned, and it's a haunted ship that you're on the deck of.
God, it's so good.
So cool.
That's so perfect.
It's so great, and then you hear a bell go ding ding ding, and then the door opens to the captain's cabin, and it's like a tunnel teleport thing that you just walk through.
Good.
It's a really good touch.
Man.
But yeah, we did eventually turn his boat around, steer it into the actual ocean,
And then sink
and then
the hell out of it.
And then we watched it sink.
Oh, here, let me help you real quick. Never mind.
Yeah.
See you in hell, sucker.
As a pro tip, the light. Speaking of how great the game looks as well, the lights in this game are amazing. Like the lighting effects are fantastic. If someone's using a sniper rifle, which, again, speaking of the charm and the design choice, the sniper rifle is a telescope on top of a rifle. The lens is cracked right across the center, and that is your crosshairs.
Nice.
It's a really nice little touch.
Yeah.
But when someone's aiming that at you, and same with just a normal telescope, you can see the lens flare on the actual telescope.
Oh, cool.
You can extinguish all the lanterns on your ship, so you can sail dark at nighttime.
You can go into
which
ghost
makes
mode.
it really hard to see when over nighttime. It's so charming. It's so much fun. It's like, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to talk too much more about any more about it now. I'm going to wait until
release.
And then it's, let's say, at that point it will be Moon talks about Monster Hunter, Elite Dangerous, and Sea of Thieves.
Right. Check the 3 checkboxes.
Exactly. But that's all I've been playing so far. I'm so excited for Sea of Thieves.
I didn't play it this past week, but I have to make special mention of the Mummy Demastered.
I forgot about this.
We just put out a Game Club episode for Mummy Demastered.
Yep.
Literally 3 days later, WayForward comes out with a huge patch for the game, which I was fairly sure they were done with, that resolved every single complaint we had about the game. Difficulty, damage enemies do to you, respawning enemies, health and ammo you get when you respawn. It just... like, I'm reading it, it's like, yep. Okay, well, that just invalidated that entire episode. Alright, thanks, guys.
Yeah, we just raked you over the coals for every single issue you've just brought up.
Yeah, so if you haven't played the Mummy Demastered and were worried about any of the things we talked bad about it, maybe go check it out now, because it's probably fixed.
Can we, like, rename that episode, just change the episode title to Mummy Demastered, and then put a little star at the end, and in the description put, these things have been patched.
Oh, God. So, good on WayForward for patching it, and listening to the overwhelming community feedback and all that. You know, maybe it was us, who knows, wink. But it might be worth trying. If I wasn't if I didn't have so much other stuff to play now, I might go back and start another playthrough on that, but you know, who really has the time?
Nobody.
My other game this week, Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm finally free. I have the platinum.
Yeah, I did see you post. Was that the? Because I don't know what trophies look like. So was that the platinum?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
When you literally wrote a hashtag finally free.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how the platinums look. They look. The other ones look like sort of regular trophies. This one is a big circle for the platinum. I have a lot of thoughts about this game, most of which we will cover in a spoiler cast we're going to record right after this. I don't want to spoil much. I know there are a couple other people that are playing right now, and they're also going after the Old Habits trophy, which is the complete everything in the world except for the side quests.
I love that name.
PS. I know, that's a really great trophy name. You don't have to clear any of the side quests that you don't need trophies for, by the way. Do like I did. Once you're done with the game and you're sort of ready to clear out old habits, set it to easy.
Yep, that's what I did.
It's a lot of fun to just go into like one of those 3-star difficulties. It's like 3 little pikes, and just say like, "Hi guys, I'm here," and just start mowing down dudes left and right. Where it's like, "Oh, there's 3 of you. All right, let's just start." It's like Neo at the end of the first Matrix movie. It's like, yep. I'm just, "Oh, you guys just got a spear. All right, come on over. That's cool." But it's in probably the most fun way. Like, it sounds boring, but it's really great where you have like 2 3-star locations. It's just like, I'm gonna kill every one of you. I don't even care. You want to light that brazier? Sure, come on in. Take out you guys too. And I think the thing for me setting down to easy difficulty is, what happened was I couldn't find any more icons on the map because I filtered it by uncompleted locations.
Yep.
And as I was finishing it, I was thinking, you know what? I'm pretty done with this game. It would be really great if this was the last one. And that trophy in the platinum popped up, and it's like, awesome. It was the perfect length where it's like, I'm pretty well done with this game. It's good. I didn't do any of the Trials of the Gods. There's like 4 of them running right now.
Yeah.
I missed a bunch of stuff from the Ubisoft Club. You know how they have those challenges in there. I missed a couple of those. It would have been great to do 100% like I've done in some of the other ones, but I have other stuff to play. Assassin's Creed Origins is really good. It is, I think, you know, we were just talking about asterisks. I think this is one of the few Assassin's Creed games you can put without an asterisk. You can just say, Assassin's Creed Origins is a good game. There are definitely avenues for Ubisoft to improve. I'd like to see them take another pass on the fighting system.
That's the big thing I think that does need to be fixed from that. If they're going to go with like a Dark Souls-esque, you know, kind of control scheme, if they want to make it like Dark Souls, then make it as punishing as Dark Souls. If they don't want to do that, then why switch the controls over?
Well, and part of my thing too is like, I don't really want them to take a step back and go back to, you know, like 8 dudes around you and one comes in and then steps back and then another one, you know, they all take their turns. But too often I found myself getting into like a stun lock because one enemy with a shield is hitting me 3 times, or you know, I think archers should move a little bit slower than you do because I get
way too quick
chasing them down just to get them, or when I pull out my bow and arrow to shoot them, which I think they want you to do. Then next thing you know, they're like tumbling like Solid Snake off the side of a cliff, where it's just like, see ya, pew, pew, you know, like it's just like, well, okay, that's fine. I hope they get there like they eventually got there with the pre-Origin stuff, where they'll take another pass at it. They'll sort of fix it up a little bit, and I think they'll get there. It didn't ruin the game. Obviously, like Moonpier has said and has told everybody, don't use the default control scheme, switch it to whatever the other one is called. You don't want the default one.
Yep.
It's not good. You know, the fighting light and heavy are on the shoulder buttons. That's madness. What are you doing? Like, that's just don't do that. But I think I Origins might be one of my favorite Assassin's Creed games. And
yep.
I think it's pretty easy to. I think
it's number 2 for me.
Yeah, what would you say is number 1? Brotherhood?
2.
Okay. I think Assassin's Creed, the whole series has a problem with endings, and we'll dive a little deeper into it when we do the spoiler cast. I think Origins ending is a little too long, which sounds really weird, because most of the problem with Assassin's Creed games is you walk into an area, you fight a final boss that's usually really bad, or like you just give him a Stabby Jones and like the game's over. But this one is, you have a pretty satisfying final boss battle. You sort of have 2 of them. And then you have another scene, and then you have a bunch of boat stuff, and then you have another thing, and it's sort of like, oh, okay, like I'm sort of ready for this to be over. And the ending was very satisfying, but along the way it's sort of like, I get why we're doing this, but there may be like one scene too many.
Yeah, for me it's the location jump 3 times. Is it? It does it really quick. It jumps location from this area to this area to this area, then back to this previous area in like 45 minutes. And it's like, I haven't changed locations this quickly throughout the entire 50 hours before this.
Yeah, it's a little weird, and I feel like the Assassin's Creed team was really trying to take to heart criticisms of especially Syndicate, because you look at Syndicate's last boss battle, it's not great. And the ending sort of, a lot of Assassin's Creed games, you know, ever since the first one, you kill a dude and it's sort of like, alright, rescue it in Pace, like, alright, and credits. Here's 400 people. It's like, well, I need like a little bit more than that. Or it's like, you know, you finish your last thing, you stabbed Lucy, credits. It's like, well, I want a little more than that too. Like, so I feel like this is, if we're going to keep the Witcher comparisons up, I feel like this is the step between Witcher 1 not being great and Witcher 3 being really good, where Witcher 2 landed and was like, yeah, it's way better, but it still needs a little bit of TLC in, you know, these X, Y, and Z areas.
So are you saying that Assassin's Creed Origin is the Assassins of Kings?
Hey, hey-o. I didn't mean for that to happen. But I feel like once again, Assassin's Creed, and this is really a testament to how many of these stupid games we have, the direction of the series is once again back on track.
Yep.
You know, like you could feel with 2 and Brotherhood, and Revelation sort of stumbled a little bit, and, you know, Black Flag got that back on course after the highly controversial 3. You know, you could feel like we're on the upswing again, and I think that's when I get really excited about Assassin's Creed, because even if you don't want to play Origins, or like you don't believe us or anybody else that says like, yeah, this is actually a good one, I'm hoping the next one is going to be really great. Whatever that's going to be, I genuinely don't even know after the ending of Origins, but I feel like they're on the right path. Yeah. Similar to what they did with Watch Dogs 2, where it's like, all right, yeah, you got it this time. Like you figured it out. This is the right way. Like, let's just keep going on this path.
Like, out of curiosity, they have to go to a new location. Where are they going for you? Ideally for you, where do they go?
I don't know, because what I really want, the funniest thing is, I already know somebody in the community is being like, Japan! And I feel like every time they say that, every time someone says that, like, they push those plans back a year. Where it's like, all right, someone said Japan again. All right, now it's 2045. Like, all right, they really want it, so keep pushing it. I sort of want somewhere, again, that I don't know a lot about, like Egypt. You know, somewhere where it's like, okay, like, yeah, where you almost have that doubt, where it's like, I don't know how you're going to make this work, but I'm kind of curious.
With limited kind of exposure to it, and given the political climate being what it is, Russia.
Sure.
Like, real early Russia, like before modern day Russia.
Yeah.
Like, real early Russia. Like, because I don't know a thing about Russia's history. Like,
Yeah.
I know their modern history, but you give me Russia at the time of Egypt, and I've got no idea what's going on there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, and it would give the game an excuse to have a snowy game, or a largely winter-based game, which I think they could finally pull off with the engine, and I think that could be really great.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I do want them to go Far East. I want them to go Far East really bad.
And they did
I think
that Assassin's Creed...
China.
Yeah,
the Chronicles.
What's the subtitle of that? Chronicles, yeah. And, like, that's fine, but that's not really what we want. Like, I want a full game there.
That's exactly what I would like to see, but I think the ancient history of China and Japan lends itself so well to the Assassin's Creed architecture, because you have the ninja who made the samurai obsolete.
Right.
And the samurai could very well easily, they have a code, they have a list of things that they like to do, like their rules, and ninja have the same, and it's like, take that and use that basis as your two arguing forces.
Right. Yeah, because I feel like they do that really well in Origins with the, it happens over the game, so it's not really a spoiler, but like the downfall of the Magi, and then the uprising of the Roman influence.
Yep.
That always makes for a good story. That's why people like Red Dead Redemption a lot. It's sort of the death of the cowboy and the rise of, order and
technology,
electricity.
Yeah.
So yeah, go play Assassin's Creed Origins. It's really great. And to wrap this up, this past week they came out with the Egypt tour mode, the historical education mode.
Yep.
And man, is it good!
I haven't even touched it. Is it really good?
It's really good. So basically, what they do is they give you the thing I would really recommend, because I spoiled myself for some of the stuff that happens at the very end of the game, is maybe don't look at the character list, because they basically throw every model from the game.
Okay, I know who you saw.
Yeah, so not the biggest problem, but one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, I guess that person's here. Okay, well, but what they do is they give you, either you can look at the map and pick a specific point on the map that starts a tour, or they have a listing of basically nodes that are there are 5 different categories. Like the primary category is daily life, and how they change the world is there are no enemies, no quests, no nothing. You can just run around the world, and there seems to be more people in the world doing the actual things that ancient Egyptians would be doing.
Okay, so basically they've taken the open world sliders and just slid enemies down to 0 and ambient people all the way up to max.
Yeah, and I think they changed the world because it takes a significant amount of time to load into it, to give more people more objects to do stuff with. And basically how it works is you start at a tour point, and it'll tell you, like, here are how many points. Let's say it'll be 9 points that you're gonna visit, and it will take an estimated 6 minutes, and you're gonna learn about the mummification process. And then when you start, there's a fully incredibly professional narrator. There are 2 of them, a man and a woman, that narrate every single point. And what they do is they show you in game, like, here's the person that's removing the brain out of this person who had just passed, and you're standing next to it. Has like a golden pathway line, almost like the follow the road line in the game.
Yeah.
And it moves you from station to station, and each one has somebody in the world doing the thing that the narrator is talking about, which is cool. But if you hit on PS4, if you hit the X button, it brings up the script that the person's talking about, and it brings up actually a really, really high def picture of that thing they're talking about from
in real life,
like
and like
the
museums.
Smithsonian.
Yep.
And each and every individual point in every tour has at least one of those.
That's kind of cool.
So it's like, here's King Tut's, here's how they, made all the tombs and, wrapped mummies. And then you hit X, and it's like, here's a picture of an actual, like, here's Cleopatra's mummy, and, brought to you by the Smithsonian. Like, all of this stuff is super, super cool. And I think there's around 40 or 50 different tours, and each of them have at least 4 or 5 points to them.
Well, maybe it's time I loaded up Assassin's Creed Origins again, because I want to get educated about Egypt.
And it's free. So,
yep.
Like, even better.
Full credit for them for that as well. Like, yo, this is something we can do with minimal effort, because that's what it is. It's minimal effort on their part.
Yep.
Like, I imagine on the back end, it's literally adjust some sliders.
Yep.
These two historians are really into this stuff. Are they interested in coming in and recording voiceover?
Yeah, recording a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, and like, there was a minor bit of miscommunication controversy this week, because everything is fine in normal Assassin's Creed Origins, but in the educational, they call it Discovery Tour. In the Discovery Tour, all of the bits on statues are covered with seashells. And people are like, I can't believe they're censoring. And Ubisoft said, no, guys, it's because we want people to show this in classrooms. And in some countries,
do that in classrooms. Yeah.
That would not work at all. Like, there's not even...
Hashtag America.
Well, they said, like, it's not even classrooms in America. It's, like, places like China. Like, you just can't show that stuff. We had to put this stuff on there just because in case a teacher wants to bring in their PS4 or the Xbox One and say, like, let's take a tour around Alexandria. And then, they don't want to get fined or fired just because they showed polygonal boobs. Nothing like that. But, yeah, if you have Assassin's Creed Origins, it's a pretty big download, if I remember. But it's really pretty interesting. Like, I fired it up, and I was gonna just do like the first tour or so, and like my daughter and I sat there. She can't read or anything, but my daughter and I sat there for a little over 2 hours, just like, oh yeah, I want to learn about like how they buried people in caves. Cool, let's do that. Oh, I want to learn more about Philadelphia. All right, let's do that. And it's really, really great. So yeah, go download it. I think for me, it was just a patch for the game. It wasn't even like, go download the Discovery Tour DLC. So if you have Assassin's Creed Origins, pop it back in there. Try learning some about ancient Egypt. It's super cool. But that's all I've been playing. So let's take a break. Ancient Egypt.
Yes. That's actually that sounds so awesome though.
It's really cool. It's one of those things where it's like, I fired it up and it's like, all right, let's check this thing out. And 5 minutes later, I'm like, this is really cool. Like, you guys did not need to do this much.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need to have... all they could have done is, like, brought you past, a character in the world that's, doing something for the tourier, and then have a little bit of text on screen. But to have this professional guy say, like, and here's the mummification process. These priests did this, and it was only trusted for these types of priests. And it's like, great. This is super cool. So, good on them.
I'm just curious now, where are they going to go? And are they going to do this again? Because, I mean, that's the big thing is, like, Egypt, I know a lot of stuff about Egypt because I was taught it in schools. I think we talked about it before, but I don't know the history. Like, I didn't know the Greeks and Romans were basically invading in 2 different ways at once. Like, I didn't know that part of it, but
yeah, that was
I knew the mummification process. I knew all the other stuff.
Yeah, like the cool stuff we learn as kids is like, oh, mummies, oh, there's a person in there, whoa.
Yeah, it's like I knew all of that, but at the same time, it's like, to have this nowadays in video game format, and there's got to be something on it for Ubisoft, and like I'm sure there's a tax write-off or something that they can do because of this. But at the same time, as they didn't need to do this, no one was asking for this.
Yeah.
It reinforces my belief that Ubisoft is the best publisher of the past, like, 10 years.
Yeah, and it's just like... I don't know. I feel like it's such a selling point, too, because if I was a kid in school and we're learning about ancient Egypt, or Greece, or Roman history, I would be way more interested in someone coming in and being like, hey, we're going to play Assassin's Creed Origins, and they're going to show you pictures from the Smithsonian of the actual stuff.
Yeah,
that would be really
especially when you consider most schools will not have the budget to go and even see photos from the Smithsonian.
Right.
Let alone, like, an interactive education tutorial kind of thing.
A lot of these schools don't even have... the budget to take a field trip to the Natural History Museum. Like, this is a really great way, and it's a really great way to get students engaged, because nearly every person nowadays plays games of some variety.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, that's really great.
Oh. No, I mean, I think they're doing good things. I do think it's one step closer to Ready Player One, though.
Sure, yeah. Oh, the thing I forgot to mention, too, is I was thinking, once I finish it, I was thinking, like, oh, there's one DLC pack out, and there's another one that's on the way, like the trophies just got patched in. I was like, let's look at the Season Pass. That thing is $40.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much I paid for the game. Like, I can't... If it's on sale, maybe for $20, I might go back in, but like...
There's a reason I didn't get the Season Pass.
For anything. Like, I think the last one I got was for Brotherhood, and even that was sort of like, yeah.
I'm trying to think what was the last Season Pass I bought. I got the Wolfenstein one because I got Wolf 2 on deep discount for the big edition.
Oh, right.
So I got the Season Pass included with that. It still makes me laugh that the first Season Pass is the best Season Pass, in my opinion.
For Borderlands 2?
Mm-mm. L.A. Noire was the first ever Season Pass.
Yeah, that was a solid pass.
And it was $20.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even 20, it was $15, I think. I think it was 20 in England, and I think it was 15 over here. And that's 3 big fucking chunks of DLC.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the sort of thing where it's like, I'd love to come back to Origins. I would have loved to sort of held out until there was a Game of the Year edition, but I could buy the game when it was fairly new for, it was like $35 or $40 on an Amazon gift card, so yeah, I'm just gonna do that.
Yeah.
But like at $40 for a season pass, and I've heard the first DLC is not that, it's fine, but it's not really that great.
Yeah.
There's really, like, I already deleted Origins because I really don't see me going back to it.
In maybe at Christmas when they do the big sales and stuff, like when they do that like kind of stuff, I might go back to it.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I might get in for that, but like otherwise.
Yeah.
And the thing too, like, the thing is, you almost want to have all that DLC available, because now I've completed the vanilla game, so now I want to sort of complete all the rest of the stuff all in one fell swoop. I don't want to keep dipping back and forth into it.
Yeah.
Because I already made the hard decision of what am I going to play next. And the thing that bubbled up to the top of my pile of shame was South Park Fractured But Whole. And I thought, like, I don't know if I really want to play it. It's another Ubisoft joint, technically.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm not super looking forward to it, but I don't want to play Mass Effect Andromeda right now, because that's another open world game.
I think that's why I've been dipping into Forza Horizon again, because it's like, I don't know what I want to play right now.
Yeah, like between stuff.
Yeah, I don't really, like, I've got Arkham Knight, I've got like 20 or 30 open world games installed waiting for me. I just don't really want to play any of them right now.
Yeah, a lot of what I'm doing is I'm like waiting for Yakuza 6. But that's in April, so I can finish at least another game or two before then. But Like, what do I even have back here? Not a lot of stuff. Like, most of them, like you say, are going to be... I have, like, Recore for the Xbox One, but I'm not chomping at the bit to play that.
Yeah, I think that's my problem right now. Is like I'm not really desperate to play anything. Like, there's nothing on my huge library right now that's jumping out at me as even games I've been interested in the past. It's just like, no, I'm really just not in the mood for that right now.
I have, like, Final Fantasy 12, but I've played that before, like, and that's going to take me forever, so I don't know if I want to dive into that. I have, oh, what was that Xbox One game with the, Quantum Break?
Yes.
I have that, but I'm not, like, super in the mood to play that either. Like, I know it's good, and I'd enjoy it, but...
It's short as well, though, to be honest.
Yeah. That would be the one thing. I looked up the time for, Fractured But Whole, and it's like 16 hours is the average playthrough. So it's like, all right, I can play through that, and it's obviously not kid friendly.
Yeah,
but you know, I can probably pretty easily blow through that. But.
To be honest, I'd say I think that and Quantum Break would be two good solutions for you right now, because you can get away on Quantum Break, I think, with playing it in front of the little one.
Yeah,
there's very little language in it. There's not really that much violence in it. Well, not a whole lot at least.
Yeah,
and that's like a 4-hour, 5-hour experience if you throw it on the easy difficulty.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that too then.
Do yourself a favor though and install the TV stuff. When it asks you, do you want to install it? Definitely install it.
Yeah, instead of having it stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to pop that in sooner rather than later and have it install all that stuff then. Yeah, it's just sort of like it's that horrible like day or two after you finish a big game that you've like I'm trying just to focus on one game at a time, knock out, you know, finish it and then knock out as much as I want to do for all the optional stuff. Like AC Origins was really great because it's a fairly direct path to get the platinum.
Yeah.
But you know, when you've been living in this game for it took me about 60 hours to platinum it. You sort of finish it and you uninstall it and you're like, okay, like what am I supposed to do now?
I mean, that's exactly what I'm running into. Is like I've got that open world game problem right now, but with games itself, which is it's what is it? What's it called? Something of choice.
Oh, like an embarrassment of riches almost.
That's basically. Whereas like I've got so many games, but literally nothing is jumping out at me right now.
Yeah.
So I kind of like I've done pretty good so far. Like I kind of want to stick to my beat games before I buy games rule. I beat 2 games early this year so I could get Monster Hunter. Well, nothing's really grabbing me at this point until Sea of Thieves comes out.
Yeah.
So it's like I've got 2 or 3 weeks until that comes out. So I don't honestly know what I want to actually sink my teeth into, like for that. It's like Dying Light's there, but I love that game. I'm just not feeling it right now.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I've got so many games installed that I could start, but then it's like, do I want to actually sit down and put some proper time into this?
Yeah, do you want to sink your teeth back into them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's one game which I might end up playing for next week, but we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
No spoilers.
All right, you ready to knock out the rest of this episode?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's get started here in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk releases for the week of February 26th, 2018. Blob 2 Remastered for Xbox One and PS4. I've always looked at these games and thought, those look pretty fun. I would like to play those, but they came out kind of late in the 360's lifespan. And I think they came out sort of, you know, like, here's a great game where 10 huge games are coming out. And this cute, you know, platformer called Blob 2. And I was like, well, no way I'm getting to it.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard good things. I think that company, isn't that the company that made the bean hugging one as well, where you could hug the smushy thing?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I love that gif. That's like one of my favorite gifs, is him giving that thing a hug from the Giant Bomb Quick Look.
Yeah.
No, I'm interested in them. We'll see. Too many games.
Yeah. Payday 2 comes out on the Switch. I just saw a headline earlier that this might not have voice chat, so I would ask why you're putting it out.
Yeah. Also, is Payday 2 the Skyrim of that developer?
Probably, yeah. If
that thing's
Skyrim
been
had really
out.
scummy DLC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Payday 2 has a real history, man.
Mm-hmm.
Darkest Dungeon is coming out on Xbox One. The
Of course it is,
Yeah.
because I literally picked it up on Steam like a couple of weeks ago.
Really?
It was like one of the first things I bought for the PC because I was like, that's never coming to the Xbox.
Well, surprise.
Come on.
Come on, guys. And last but not least, Deadbolt comes out on the PS4 and the PS Vita. I think it's also out on PC as well. This is the new game from the Risk of Rain developers. They made a 2D stealth, like Hitman action puzzle game that
Interesting.
looks really, really cool. So I'm going to have to try and check this out wherever I can. And obviously, you know, anytime someone says from the developers of Risk of Rain, I'm sort of like, oh, hello.
Oh yeah, you're in, Dave.
Just like that new game, it's called Into the Breach, the new game from the FTL guys, where they say like, oh, it's from the FTL team, and I'm like, oh, hello, hi, what do you got going on?
Another Kickstarter success, I believe.
Oh, did they kickstart that too?
I would think FTL was a Kickstarter.
Oh,
yeah.
FTL was, yeah. That was one of the original. I think that was one of the first few ones that wasn't from like it wasn't from an established team like Broken Age was, where it was like, you know, here's two guys, we want $15,000. You gave us like $300,000. What the hell?
Yep.
It's one of those things where it's like, oh, this might be a thing. You know, prophetic words. All right, let's talk about news stories. We have 3 quick ones here. Metal Gear Survive came out.
Oh, is this the... I haven't, for the record, I haven't seen the show notes.
Okay.
So I'm guessing this is the save file story.
It is the save file story. It's no surprise that Metal Gear Solid Survive has 4 paid DLC. I mean, Monster Hunter World has it. You know, a lot. I think almost all of it is cosmetic over there, like greetings and stuff.
Yep.
Metal Gear Survive has all that stuff for, I think it's called SV coins. Yes, the game's unique currency. Where they get really... I talked about this last week where, like, I don't really want to, you know, drag some company or somebody through the dirt just because they made a poor choice. And then Konami's got to go and do this.
So let's start dragging.
Yeah. When you buy Metal Gear Survive, it's $40, you get 1 save file for a character. If you'd like to save more characters, it's $10 a pop.
Mm-hmm.
That's so bad. Like,
yep.
I feel like, you know, when you look at Destiny, I have felt that has been a little restrictive with 3 characters. They're very much saying, like, you make 1 of each class and then you're sort of done. You know, Diablo 3 has a character restriction on it as well, where you can create, you know, it's like 10 or 12 characters, something like that. But 1, and then it does not seem like you can earn these SV coins in-game. Because if you could, it'd be one of those things where it's like, all right, they're forcing you to just play 1 character for a while until you earn enough in-game to expand your save slots. But that's real bad, guys.
Yeah, it's how very Konami of them.
Yeah, like...
They did this exact same thing with Metal Gear 5. When Metal Gear 5 came out, there was no microtransactions, there was nothing like that in there. Like a week after the game was released, that all of a sudden, all of your stuff gets put into online, like forward bases. It costs money to defend them. You can get insurance on them with microtransactions.
It's weird. It's almost like that's when all the reviews were done hitting.
Yeah,
weird.
Exactly. It seems like this time they didn't even bother to wait for that.
No, yeah, it's just, hey, we're gonna hit him day 1. Oh, Konami. Well, let's talk about much happier, much better news. The industry's recent worst kept secret, the Burnout Paradise Remastered Edition, hits consoles in March. It is March 16th for the PS4 and Xbox One for $40, 4K and 60 frames per second, which is probably all you need to know, but it also has all the DLC in it.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So I think I need to beat 2 games before March 20th. 4 games before March 26th, technically,
Yeah,
because
you
Sea
have
of Thieves is
like
dead.
3 weeks.
Uh,
Yeah.
Indie games.
Right. ACA Neo Geo.
No, nah,
Siri, no.
I've got 2 Assassin's Creed Chronicles games to be getting on with.
There you go. Those are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I think if you've never played Burnout Paradise, $40 for the base game and all the DLC is a pretty good price.
Yes, and I know that they did this announcement with the lines from Paradise City, so that song has to be back in the game.
Yeah, like the announcement trailer has the song in it, so.
Yep, which that game starts with that song, and it is incredible.
Yeah.
And they couldn't have done this, like, if they would have said this was anything below 60 frames a second, they would have been in trouble, because the reason this game works so well is because it's 60 frames a second.
Yeah, it's just it's fast.
My biggest concern with this game is, do they cap the control response at 60 frames? Because one of the reasons that Paradise was so widely regarded is because basically your control input is related to a frame. So a 60 frame per second game is so important because it registers your controller movement every 60 frames. It will change your input into the game. That's kind of why they play differently compared to 30. They did some black wizardry, as far as I can remember, and then this is like however many years ago Paradise came out.
10 years, by the way, which is
wow,
insane.
I believe that they did like some black magic and they uncapped the limit on how much the game reads your input on the controller.
Right.
So it's essentially double or triple the controller response time that you normally would get from a game. So I don't know how they did it. I just know that somebody did a deep dive into it a while ago, like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Someone did like a look back at it. And when they're explaining, like, the reason why it controls so well is because they did weird black magic.
Yeah.
And just got it to be so responsive. So if they've still got that responsiveness, I'm 100% all in, because that's probably one of the best racing games I've ever played.
Yeah.
And no game has ever had the sensation of speed that game does.
Well, I feel like Burnout Paradise is one of those few games where I bet it would feel really good to start back over.
Yeah.
You know, like, if there's never another Forza Horizon, in a couple of years I could say, like, yeah, let's delete our Forza Horizon 3 save and, like, let's just start this whole thing back over. I bet that's really fun.
Yeah, not to mention that Paradise has the Playground Games multiplayer mode, where it's just like, okay, there's 8 people in this lobby. Now all 8 of you hit this big-ass ramp and jump over this power plant.
Yep. Just go do stuff. Like, what do you want to do?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
And last but not least, I feel like I might have missed this last month when this got announced, but Assassin's Creed Rogue Remaster is coming to PS4 and Xbox One.
Yes!
It is only
is it fall this year?
$30.
That's a good choice.
Will be in 4K.
Oh,
so
is it fall? I need to know release date on this, because I'm hoping
it is March 20th.
Oh god,
son of.
Why so soon?
I don't know. It was 2 months when this news story came out.
Why didn't they just punch it back till fall and then do the 2-year cycle for the next one again? Yeah,
that's sort of the surprising thing, because it seems like I don't think there's really still isn't a listing on Amazon for this, but it's sort of surprising that they didn't go that route, because I feel like so many people on my friends list, both on PS4 and Xbox One, are playing Origins right now, because I feel
I don't want to go back to another Assassin's Creed game this quickly.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't want to.
Sort of want to, but like I don't want to go 100% another one, but it's supposed to be really good, so I want to see all of it. Like, I don't know. But yeah, it's $30. That price makes it really easy for me to be there day one.
Yeah.
And now that Yakuza 6 got pushed back by a month, I can probably finish Assassin's Creed Rogue in a month.
Maybe.
Probably. Maybe. I know so little about it, because when it came out, I was like, I'll pay it up for 360 and I'll play it, and then PS4 and Xbox One were out, and I was like, 360? Yeah, right.
Exactly the same thing, yeah. I was like, oh my, we got Unity, I think day one maybe, and it was like, nope, Unity is so beautiful. You know,
Yeah.
I ain't going back to the old, old mess.
Yeah, look at this dashboard. Oof.
Oh, it's meant to be really good though. Like, I think when those both got reviewed at the same time because they came out on the same day as well, I believe.
They did, yeah. Why? I have no idea. Here's this great-looking one, and here's something on an older gen, but this one's supposed to be good, and everyone hates the new one.
I mean, I get it. Ubisoft are trying to do well by their fans and be like, here's both, but give us Rogue a month before, and then say, if you're really interested in the next gen one, wait 4 weeks.
Right. Right.
Like,
it's so weird.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to questions. Jimbo Jangles hits us up on email. My question to the crew this week, what's your favorite game within a game? I'm not really into card games, but man, I was hooked on Gwent in The Witcher 3. Collecting all the cards, beating every Gwent player in town. So much fun. What's your favorite game within a game? He sort of stole mine, because I think mine would probably be Gwent, because it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, here we go, another card game. It's like, oh, this is actually like a full, real game in here that is surprisingly really deep.
I'm gonna hate that this is one of my answers. I've got two, and surprisingly enough, they both come from the king of games within games. Mm-hmm. There is one series responsible for most of these. That series is
Final Fantasy.
Yes. Yeah. Number two, because it was so dumb, Blitzball. It was so dumb and so good.
I am one of the few defenders of Blitzball. People... Let's talk about Blitzball. Blitzball has such a terrible introduction in the game. Like, you have to play that one match, and the match is tough, and there's not enough of a tutorial, and your teammates suck. The Besaid Aurochs suck. Like,
yes, they do.
But when you can scout some new people, and you can start working on leveling up your team and getting them better, your team actually starts being better very quickly, and it's a really cool payoff, and people are like, oh, Blitz, blah, blah. It's not that, it's actually pretty fun.
Not to mention you can get Brother, who is the best Blitzball player.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He's so good. But my number one, and I wish I could remember the name of it, it's the card game from Final Fantasy VIII.
Yeah, Triple Triad.
So good.
Yeah, I'm one of the few people that prefers the 9 one over the 8, but I can fully admit that I am wrong. Because I know the one in 8 is better. I just clicked with the one in 9 more for some reason.
Yeah. I saw the one in 9 and my response to that was, F this, it's not Triple Triad.
I already did this, I'm done.
Not to mention, like, in 8 there was that thing where you could only get certain cards from certain people and they were missable.
Yep.
Like, you could, the stupid queen mage lady who you fight at the end of the game, who turns out is, like, really one of your friends. Like, you can only play that game with her at one point in the entire game.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't know why we're doing this in the middle of the end of the world, but sure.
But yes, let's play some of this.
Yes. I mean, 7's got too much of a variety. I think they do all of them well. You've got the snowboarding game, you've got the motorbike racing game, you've got chocobo racing, you've got...
You have the march in a
march in formation. That's so good.
You have jump the you have do CPR and then immediately jump a dolphin over electrical wires. You also have Fort Condor, which is that strategy game.
Oh, God, the worst thing in 7. I hate that. That's tower defense, isn't it? Kind of.
Basically, yeah, that's true. You have the Let's Lift Weights game from the very beginning.
Yep, the punching of the dummies in the hologram in Golden Saucer. Stardew Valley has some really good games within games. It's got a twin-stick shooter, which is actually really kind of fun to play. And the best thing is, if you beat it in the game, you get a copy of that arcade cabinet for your house.
Perfect. I'm trying to think of anything else. I feel like RPGs are kind of the kings of this usually. But either they're like really fun and they're a joy to play, or it's
really
like,
dumb.
Oh god, I have to go do this.
Yeah.
It's the worst. Or you could just be the Tales series and every single one of them has one of those like box pushing puzzles where it's like get to the end and you can only move the boxes one way. Whoa. I'm okay. Although Nier Automata had that too.
Yeah. Nier Automata also had the Space Harrier kind of game, the side-scrolling shooty thing.
Yeah.
Vertical shmup, that's the one.
Gwent is so good.
I still haven't played any of the Witcher games. Oh,
yeah, 3 is really good.
I know. I put like 2 hours into 2 and bounced.
Superman Socks asks us on Discord, what game, if they remade for current-gen consoles, would you buy day one? Mine would be Mass Effect Trilogy. I mean, you got it in one on that one.
Yep. Because it's been... I don't know where all of the love for it suddenly came out of the polls. Maybe it was we discussed it at some point. But the Discord channel has been ablaze with the Parasite Eve love.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Parasite Eve is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated series that Square has ever done.
Yep.
Like 1 and 2 are... I haven't played 3 because that's a PSP exclusive that only came out in Japan. And maybe here. But 1 and 2 are... It makes me laugh because it's the Dead Space 1 and Dead Space 2 of its time.
Yeah.
Where 1 was a hardcore JRPG with a little bit of shooting and spells and cast times and everything like that. And 2 was an action-adventure JRPG.
Yep. About mitochondria.
Yes, the first one was about mitochondria as well.
Yeah.
But those 2 games are incredible. Like, give me them remastered. I don't even care. Give me the tank controls. I'll take them. I want to play those 2 games again.
Yeah, just make new polygons.
Man.
The Nimp in Discord says, the Stick Figures website was stickdeath.com. It doesn't exist anymore, but I used to be on it all the time in high school. So we were talking about West of Loathing last week and wondering what website that was, stickdeath.com, which unfortunately is dead.
Oh, I love that. I love that site in high school and college.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
And that was last question here from T-Bomb Rocks in Discord. What's your gaming goals this year? My personal goal is to finish 24 games by end of the year. 1 large and 1 small each month should do it.
Yeah, T, you might want to stop playing Monster Hunter, dude. Just so you know.
Well, that could be 1 large. He only has 23 more games this year, then.
That's true.
I think for me, I want to try some different genre of game. I don't really know what that is, but I feel like I love visual novels so much, and that was really an experiment. So, is there another genre out there that I would really love that I haven't played yet? I don't know what that. Send your suggestions if you think there's a game out there I would like to play.
Have I spoken to you about FIFA?
Yeah, I'm not really a sports guy.
Neither am I.
Yeah. You're just a fan of the greatest game.
The beautiful game.
Either one. I mean, it's also really great.
Yeah, that's true. I'll be honest. I know what my goals are this year. It's finish more games instead of just not actually starting them. It's
being a pack rat.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's finish more, but also be more willing to taste test. That's kind of what I'm doing with my Steam library right now. Is jumping in, giving something a try, seeing if I like it. If I don't like it, just being able to bounce, like just being able to say no, I don't need to do anything with that anymore.
Yeah,
like I can be in and out, decide if I want to play it, and then just be done with it if I want to.
Yeah, that's true. But at least giving it a shot.
Yeah, I've come to the conclusion I don't have the time anymore to be 100% in everything I have.
No, yeah,
I'll still try.
I mean, I'm surprised I did it for Origins, but that was... You could sort of see the through line pretty easily, and was like, alright, that's not going to take me too much more time.
Yeah, exactly.
That wasn't so bad. Alright, well, thank you very much, everyone, for asking your questions. That's our episode this week. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at tvgp.tv. All the links to all the places you can contact us on the right-hand side of the page, including our Discord server, which is very active with both Marvel Puzzle Quest, Monster Hunter World, but most importantly... Parasite Eve.
Yes.
So come join us. Everybody is really cool. It's always hopping. That's on the right-hand side of the page. This month's Game Club title is West of Loathing, available for PC, OS X, and Linux. It's pretty cheap on Steam, and I know Musum likes it, and Moonpierce seems to be enjoying it so far, and I really need to start it. So go check that out and watch us live on Twitch and YouTube and Mixer and Smashcast, and somebody's probably reposting our videos, who knows. Follow us on, subscribe to us all on those places, and last but not least, Patreon. Patreon.com/E1M1. Cool behind the scenes stuff. Got some new stuff coming out here over the next couple weeks. Outcasts just came out, returning for a Patreon exclusive for $2 peeps. That is up there. It's going to be an uncensored look behind the scenes. I guess I didn't talk about it at the top of the episode. It's basically the inverse of TVGP. I cut out all the stuff where we talk about video games, and I just leave in the uncensored stuff we talk about between segments. So that is on Patreon, patreon.com/E1M1. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye-bye.
I have so many titles. 1, 2,
I got
3,
like
4,
3,
5,
dude.
6, 7, 8, 9.
I got 3.
Okay. As customs dictate, I will go after you.
Maybe it was us. Wink. Educated on Egypt, and most importantly, Parasite Eve.
Yes. I like maybe it was us. Wink. Alright, I have Taking It Nice and Slow, The Killer the Murderer, Space Rich, Leonard Nimoy Station, Dip Your Toe into the Ninja. I really liked. Just a little taste. Just a little taste.
Just a little taste. Just a little bit.
Caribbean Drift, which...
that's kind of stolen it so far.
It's pretty good. 4 Minutes to Mutiny. Which it might be my pick because it also sounds like an 80s or 90s hair metal album title.
Yes, it does. No, that's... Yeah, keep going.
An Actual Vomit. Which I just liked how you said, like, I'm gonna vomit an actual vomit. And then Maybe It Was Us. Wink.
4 Minutes to Mutiny.
Yeah, 4 Minutes to Mutiny is... As soon as you said it, I was just like, this has to be it. Oh, God. Oh. Alright, let's get started here in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 540 for February 26th, 2018. 4 Minutes to Mutiny.
My wife, everybody.
Alright, thank you so much, everyone, for watching us live here. We're going to take a couple minutes break so I can split videos, and then we will be back with Assassin's Creed Origins Spoilercast. My eyebrows. And so if you want to watch that and get spoiled, or you finished it, hang around. If not, then we'll see you next week. Bye.